Aloha, it's 365 Hawaii.
With Eric and Julie Zemelis, and we are on the new 365 Sunset Lanai. Look behind us, talking to you from our new Mango Bar Top news desk.
That's right, we're kind of excited about that. So today we're going to talk about what's it like to have winter in the Big Island. You know, is it cold? Is it hot? Does it make a difference? Is there a difference between the two of them? And some of the cons. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just the air temperature. It's something so basic as that. So give you guys a little stats. In the summer, the low is 73 to 87. And 87 is starting to get pretty hot around here. And in the winter, it is 67 in the morning to 82 in the afternoon. So
now that's down at the ocean.
That's down at the ocean. We're up here about 700 feet. So the temperature, of course, is a little cooler on both ends. Particularly in the morning, it gets a lot cooler up here. We get the blowing of the snow or the cold off of the mountain, and it kind of whips down in the morning, makes us feel chilly, and we need blankets.
There you go. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know this, but we also get snow up on Mauna Kea, not just during the winter time. Sometimes we'll get snow like during late spring, you know. But when it is blowing across that snow, you guys, I know we're laughing that some of you are in Minnesota, and you're like, "Oh, shut the hell up." When it gets to about low, let's say, someone asked me on social the other day, "What do you think is cold?" I'm like, "Oh, 72." So
wait, let me add a little of that one. Well, cold here, there's actually a number, just to let you guys know, that actually cold is. In Hawaii, it might be different here on the mainland, but if the temperature dips below 74 degrees, it's a cold day. That just is. It usually means that something's up. Rarely, it has to be a cold and wet, rainy day in order for it to actually hit below that temperature.
Yeah, and it was a rainy, cold, wet day about a week ago, and I was wearing a sweatshirt almost all day long. Again, you guys telling me to shut the hell up. You're wearing your freaking parkas and your freaking things around your heads at night. So some people do say when they come here during the winter time, should they bring jackets and things like that?
Yeah.
And some of you guys who are coming from colder climates, let's say Alaska, you think this is probably a nice, very warm day. But for us, like even right now with the wind kind of blowing through here, it's a little chilly. In fact, I was wearing a scarf the other day on the beach because it had gotten so chilly. So you're not going to freeze your butt off. But for those of us who only operate in a 10-degree swing zone, it's a little chilly.
It's chilly. So we could translate also this goes to the water temperature as well. And there's a cutoff. Funny that the water temperature stays fairly consistent for most of the year. And then I swear to God, it must be January 1st that the temperature drops. And I think it goes down into the mid-70s is where it is. So I think 76, 75 around there.
Another shut the hell up moment.
Another shut the hell up. But if you're always used to above 80, it's quite a difference.
Bath water. Like in August and September and October, you walk in, you don't know the difference between your skin temperature and the water temperature. It's like heaven.
So a con for the winter would be
freezing water.
Freezing water. It's definitely cold to go there. And
again, people like this from Oregon, shut the hell up. Yes, you can actually go into the water all year long, of course. Yes, it's true.
Right. So we used to live in a condo association, and it did not have a pool. It did not have solar on the pool. And come January, you kind of didn't go in that much.
It was like 76 maybe.
Yeah, if you're going swimming, you go in, you swim fast, you get out. That was how it works. So the water temperature definitely makes a difference.
So most of the time that we are thinking about when it's crowded in Kona, it's usually between probably like right before Christmas, around like, I don't know, like the 20th of December. And then it's pretty dang crowded between like the 22nd and January 3rd.
I think they went to last week. This time they went all the way the next week. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, because they got trapped on the Alaskan Airlines problems. That's why. They were here until the 6th, like my son.
Yeah, that's right.
But because the snowbirds are here, we've got a lot of people who are here like 3 months out of shop from like Canada and different places around the country where it's cold, and smart people actually bought second homes and they're here for months at a shot. It usually stays pretty busy until March 1st.
Yep,
so
that's
they're
kind of
here
the turnaround.
Usually all the way through January. And mostly through February, and then they start to go home March 1st. But some people last all the way to April 1st.
Yeah, I've seen them do that too.
So the first 3 months of the year is like the crowdedest time to be. We were just driving up from Kailua Kona, downtown area, and we were
the traffic was slow. And here's one thing I understand about traffic here is that we don't have. We're talking Kona side now, not so much the Hilo side. They have more people that work and get traffic there. But what stops us up is we get the tourists on the road, and we don't have 4-lane roads, and our roads are kind of at maximum capacity most of the time, just because they're 2-lane roads. They're not made for it. So you put an extra of 5% of cars or 10% of cars, and it gets pretty slow. But with that being said, it's usually between 3 and 4:30.
Yeah, and this morning I left to go to see the sunrise around like 6:30, and there were some people on the road But by the time I got back to start getting ready by 9, it was all backed up, like up and down from like Keauhou all the way to downtown. So the worst time to travel is when people are trying to get to work around 8. And the second worst time is when all the visitors have had their big fat breakfasts, and now they're going to be heading off to points up to the north, the Kailua Coast and the beaches. So 10 o'clock in the morning is the worst.
Yep, that's whenever, and it's not so much driving. It's usually when you get there by that time for those.
No, it is bad for driving.
Okay,
clearly.
we're getting out of town.
You're crawling from Keauhou all the way to downtown.
Yep.
So get up early and leave early. And also when you're coming back in an afternoon on the beach, because this is again why it starts backing up around 2:30. People leave the beaches, and then all of a sudden it starts to back up. So just prepare yourself. And again, people are going to tell us to shut the hell up, because I've been in Honolulu traffic, and I've been in LA traffic and San Francisco traffic. We don't have 8 lanes of traffic. However, if you're having to slow down and stop and crawl, I don't care if it's 8 lanes or if it's 2 lanes, but you're probably only going to be in traffic for about 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not 2 hours.
About that we could talk about crowds is also, we could also going back of trying to find places. There's only so many establishments. I know we've talked this before of eating establishments, and they fill up quickly. You know what I mean? Everybody comes in and said they want to eat dinner right at 6:30, right when the sun sets there, and that tends to throw things off. So you either have to go late or you have to go really late. Is how it goes.
Oh, early.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, you have to go early or really late.
You start at 4:30, but you know what? Again,
Yeah.
downtown at 4:30. Going on LE as you're going through all the little areas.
It is crowded, yeah.
It gets stopped up around there by 4 o'clock because people are trying to get themselves parked and get themselves into a restaurant and get their happy hour in. And the sun sets right now around 5:45.
Nope, we're a little bit later than that right now. So, all right. All right, so why don't we go into when the sunset actually sets? The sun actually sets now. The earliest time that it sets is about just right at 5:50. Okay, and that is closer before Christmas is when that is. And so now we're already getting in January. We're already past 6 o'clock is where we are for this.
Okay, so 6 o'clock.
Yep.
But the morning time, just so you guys know, the sun doesn't actually rise until 7.
Yeah, so and this is another con. You're talking about another con of being here is that I know you guys probably kill me because you guys have short days, but our days. First of all, you can always watch the sunset during dinner time. That's a good part. But the bad part is that in the morning it's getting. I mean, we're like at 7 o'clock and the sun isn't even up yet anymore. So it is definitely.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
And the downfall is you want to start your day, get going, and it's dark, and then it feels cold and put a little rain in there, and it definitely feels like, 73 degrees starts to feel pretty cold at that point.
Okay, so for those of us who've lived here any length of time, especially those of us who might be through the menopause experience, having a cool morning, though, based upon the fact that the sun does not get up until 7, so you can actually go for your walk with your dogs or go out there and like what we did today, sit down at the beach at Old Airport and watch a sunrise, and it's already like 7, so you don't have to get there at 5:45 or 5:30 like you do during the summertime, and it stays pretty chilly until like 8:15. Where during the summer, by 8:15, it's like 88 degrees already. It's like really hot.
So here's a pro of the winter is that it's a good time to go tackle those lava trails that you were always thinking might be a good place to go to.
Yeah.
We did one the other day that we got through, and it was like the only way. We did the Captain Cook Monument Trail is the one we ended up doing, and it wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
No, it wasn't bad
the
at all.
temperature was at a reasonable number in the afternoon, and we weren't dying. We've also done it in August, and it's been very, very hot. So,
yes, very hot.
That is
like,
a pro
don't
of
do
it.
that.
But a lot of people come here with the idea that they're going to be warm on the beach and experience that super warm temperature of being
for the
in
most
Hawaii.
part, you do. Okay, because yesterday I was on the beach yesterday. It was 85 degrees, and to me that's like boiling hot. But if you are just freezing your butt off anywhere else in this country, and you go and you get a chance to take all your clothes off and sit in the sun, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's not as warm as it in the summer, of course. You know what I mean? And if you're looking for the heat, so
But who wants to sit in the sun when it's 88 degrees outside? No. That's when you get a little burn.
I don't know. I think some of these people that come on vacation, I know they're used to. I've seen it where they sit on the lawn chairs for days on end.
Yeah,
and just
hours
like
and
this,
hours.
kind of dump in the pool and come out and then bake it off again and keep going.
You know you're in trouble when your skin is going like this. That's not working for me now. During the wintertime, when we get our big swells that come in.
Oh yeah, so now, Con, if you are planning on going out doing any ocean adventures, we're talking about the coldness of the water, and now we're also talking about the big swells. And like example, the Hapuna has been closed for a few days now because the waves have been so big coming over there.
Yep, and also not only was Hapuna closed, but also Kailua Beach Park means no snorkeling. Magic's lost all the sand. It's is rocks right now, so there's no like lazing around on like an acre and a half of sand. And they also had closed Kua Bay, which is also losing a lot of its sand. So there's not as much real estate and sand left. So you could face beach closure. So you've come all this way to Hawaii, and you're going to go sit on the beach, and sometimes the beaches are closed because we have these crazy winter storms.
Right, and then let's say the waves aren't big enough that you could actually get in. You still have big waves. You're fighting with trying to snorkel in 3-foot surf is not a pleasant.
Right, and if you had
experience.
plans on going out on a whale watch excursion, I have one coming up on Sunday, and we just finished a massive swell that came for 5 days.
Yeah.
It's over today, which is Friday, and so I'm hoping that by Sunday it's going to be nice and easy, so I can go out there and see my whales. But we've been watching a few boats get.
Yeah, it's rough out there. If you are prone to motion sickness, I would not recommend any of those.
Check the surf report before you go out on a whale watch tour. I'm just going
Right.
to give you guys, that's a big tip for today, okay, guys? Also, make sure that you watch what's happening with the surf report too. Then you'll get a chance to see what the sand decision might be too.
Yeah.
Because we will know. So if you are coming here, let's say in November, you're starting to think about November. We had sand all the way up until almost Christmas, right? And so all the people who were here around Christmas got a ton of sand.
Yeah, wait, just a little side hint. Christmas is kind of the turning point for winter here. You can go all the way up to Christmas, it's all perfect, and then somewhere right around after that does change. Go ahead.
And so what people don't sometimes know is that our swells are coming in from passing storms on their way to Australia. So we don't get storms, like we don't have rain and stuff, except like, we did have kind of a little bit of a storm. But for the most part, it can be absolutely blue and sunny. We don't know there's an actual storm out there, but the waves have been generated way far out there, and they come on in. In fact, I think some of the crazy waves that we had are the ones that California got hit, where it took out like Pittsburgh Beach and stuff.
Same ways.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had some crazy surf, but you can get an idea of what's going to happen before you show up, because you can look at the surf report, and if we look like we're having a massive surf problem, we're probably going to lose our sand. So if you can, plan the day around the fact that that's going to happen.
If swimming in a calm water is something that you are into and going out into that, maybe the summer might be a better time for it.
Yeah.
But the pro for the winter is the whales are here, right?
Yes.
And I'll tell you, there's nothing like seeing them jump right up and breach and do all their things. It's definitely spectacular.
Yeah, it's there's a yin and yang, right?
Yeah,
because
it's
then
both ways,
you're here for the whales, but then you get the crazy, I can't get in the water. Right? Mm-hmm. And then you're here during the summer, you get a chance to have warm, soft sand, and the water's awesome, but you're not going to see whales. So you get one or the other.
As you know, in winter, things don't actually bloom as much as they do in the summer, and they jump in the spring. So just like on the mainland, we have things that are not as prevalent. And those are...
Well, I do not smell plumeria in the air right now. We lose most of the plumeria during the winter months, and we don't see them coming back until probably like the end of February.
Yeah, and there's a few plumerias that actually do live through they don't shed their leaves, but they also don't have any flowers on them either.
Right, and then sometimes you have plumerias that don't smell. They're different. There's Tahitian and there's regular. But when you think of getting off the plane and smelling that yummy, that usually doesn't happen until at least May.
Yeah.
Because that's when we have May Day, Lay Day, and that's when all the blooms are out, so everyone's making fillets. But that usually lasts until probably June or July, and so during that time frame is when you're going to get that fragrance in the air. What we also are missing right now is mangoes and some of our tropical fruit that actually again blooms like closer to June than it does obviously in January and February.
Yeah. I wonder what avocados are. I don't know what those. I don't think they're around either.
Some, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
When we were in the Bay Area, I think that we had
it was January
avocados in January and February. So, but specifically, I know that the mangoes are just like little unripe fruits on the trees right now, and our plumeria trees are just sticks.
So okay, and then so I want to lead into one other thing that's interesting. It's a little bit unusual about the Big Island compared to some of the other islands. Is that we are so far down that we actually miss some of the bigger storms. So it tends to be drier here in the winter time, and it's because the colder weather stops the warm weather from the ocean and the cold mountain air coming together and causing rain, which is more often happens in the spring, summer, and fall. So, and then there's like example this week, there was a storm went by and they're all, well, the farthest this storm is going to go is Oahu. It's farther down because we're kind of like north to south. And you're like, oh, so we didn't get that storm. But, Kauai got hammered pretty good. So it's one interesting thing about the Big Island is that we tend to miss the big storms and we get the little things instead.
Right. And that's another reason why people love to vacation in Kona during the wintertime, because we do stay hot and dry. And just a little point, if you guys didn't know it, there is a Kona section on every island. The Kona means like basically it's the hot, dry aspect of the island. So that's another reason why people call it Kailua Kona, because Kailua is a town, Kona is a district, and the area of the island Just so you guys know.
The winds come from the east, right? And they bring all the storms to the east side of the island. And the volcanoes do such a great job at 13,000 feet of stopping anything that might happen. So we are always sort of on the dry side, so we actually don't get as much rain as well.
There we go.
That's
Thank
why
you, Eric. Doesn't he look like the weatherman sitting here on his little desk made of mango?
I didn't know that our channel would turn into interesting facts and figures about Hawaii, but it does. So I hope you guys enjoy them.
We're the science channel. So, but anyway, so that you guys just know that's the reason why everyone likes to come here, because we usually do have these beautiful, look at today, it's a beautiful warm blue day, and it's a perfect time to be here, and it's January. And so
it's not the perfect time. The video is called The Cons of Being Here in the Winter.
Oh, sorry guys. It absolutely sucks. Please don't come, because we want more space in our roads and our restaurants.
That's right.
Totally
That's what it is. So anyways, but it gives you an idea of what it's like to be here in winter.
Okay.
And with that, wait. Before we do that.
Oh, we have to tell you guys, the good stuff, the sponsor stuff.
Yeah.
You know that Eric and I sponsor this channel, and we are also realtors on this island, and we have a YouTube channel. If you guys want to learn more about buying real estate or understanding real estate in general, in fact, we just did a video today about title. Go to 365 Hawaii Real Estate Minute and subscribe to that channel, and just know that we work with Real Broker, and that we would love to help you if you want to think about buying or selling a house. And we also like to educate the public about what's happening with housing issues as well that are happening on this island. So another thing that we do on that channel is to let you know about like short-term vacation rental issues, cesspools, issues affecting anybody who actually lives here and pays property taxes.
That's right. And the last thing I'd like to ask you guys, if you do like our channel, please subscribe. It definitely helps us out a lot. We get a little more people are able to see it at that time, and it makes us a little more excited about doing things. It works out really well. So if you do, please subscribe.
Yeah, and so we will say aloha from the mango desk at the 365 Sunset Lanai.
Aloha.
Aloha.